Ladies and gentlemen, this is our Group A and Group B Stepladders semifinal. RC has choice of lane. They've made their selections. Let's give them a big send-off, gentlemen. Good luck and good bowling.
Good afternoon. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, depending on where you are. Welcome back to BowlTV. My name is Matt Canizaro, and we are getting settled in here for the group stepladders at the 2018 Super Senior Classic here at Samstown Bowling Center in Las Vegas. Definitely a lot going on here. We'll be flip-flopping between two different matches throughout this morning session. Then we'll have the championship stepladder coming up later today. So we'll try to get you all the information as things unfold. And joining me in the booth today is Bruce Hall, left-hander from Massachusetts. Bowled this week, has some great insight from the lane, so looking forward to that. Bruce, welcome.
Hello, Matt. How you doing? Thanks for having me on.
All right. Well, first, congratulations on a great week here at the Super Senior Classic, and I'm glad to have you here, but I'm sorry to have you here at the same time. You got so close to getting into these group stepladders and making a run here,
Yeah, a couple of tough games in the middle of my last block yesterday, but a great run. I just missed this by a few days last year. I turned 61 tomorrow, so my birthday's June 4th, so missed it by a couple days. So this is my first one of these. I'm very happy with how I acquitted myself.
All right. Well, we've seen you on the other side of the cameras all week long, and in the past here at the Senior Masters and such. But now we have an interesting format here, very unique and very entertaining, both for the players and for the fans. Yesterday, especially going into the position round, 11 of the 12 players actually had a chance to be here today for a chance at the title and $8,500 top prize. The way that it worked, real quickly, we'll introduce our matches first. Here on our match that you're seeing right now, it is Benny Hafes from Mobile, Alabama, taking on the legend Harry Sullins from Michigan. And again, this is a group step ladder, so we'll turn to our other pair of lanes and show you our other match. It's going to be Patrick Padden and Warren Nelson doing battle. And just to sum up the format a little bit real quick, all players, 184 bowled, 12 games of qualifying over 2 days, and total pinfall for those 12 games cut the field down from 184 to 46. And those were the cashers, so they went to the cashers round and bowled 6 more games. 18 game pinfall totals, cut the field down again from 46 to the top 12. And at that point, the qualifiers were split into 2 groups, A and B, based on where they qualified. So the odds went one way. They went to Group A, and the evens went to Group B. So 6 players in each group. They bowled round-robin match play, 5 matches, and then a position round. And after that position round, the leader in each group automatically earned a spot on the championship stepladder. And total pinfall determined the 1-2 seeds. So the 1 seed was Mike Diaz. He led Group B, edged out Mark Williams by 5 pins. So Mark Williams will go in as the 2 seed. And now, from those 6 players in each group, the 2, 3, and 4 finishers are competing in these group stepladders. So Group A is what we're seeing on lanes 19 and 20. And Group B over on 23 and 24. So Benny Hafes and Sullins, the winner, will take on the left-hander Skip Pavone, who qualified second in Group A. And then between Nelson and Padden, the winner will take on defending champion Ron Moore here at the Super Senior Classic. So the winner of each group stepladder then will advance to the championship stepladder. They'll go in as the 3 and 4 seeds, bowl each other the first match. Winner will advance to take on Mark Williams, and the winner there will bowl Mike Diaz for the title. Bruce Hall, how'd I do?
Amazing. I can tell you do this for a living. I don't think I could. I bowled the tournament. I don't think I could have described it better than that.
I think the best part yesterday, sitting where we're sitting, is obviously the bowling was very exciting. It came down to the very last game, even the last frame
On
in
both
one
sides,
case.
I think on both A and B.
But even more
bracket.
entertaining than the bowling was the folks behind us trying to figure out what was happening at the same time.
Yeah, when you break into two sides like that, it's hard to tell who cares about who and who to follow. So in the Padden-Nelson match, we got Warren Nelson just crumbled a bucket to take an early 10-pin lead over Patrick Padden.
All right, we can see the scoreboard here between Hayes and Sullins. We've got ourselves a one-pin match here early, and then we'll switch back and forth for the group step ladders. Then once we get down to our championship step ladder coming up at 2 p.m. Eastern, everything will take place on 21 and 22. We'll move the cameras a little bit, and we'll be a little bit smoother, I think, in being able to follow the action. But here we are. So again, the winner in this Group B step ladder will advance to beat Ron Moore. And between Sullins and Hayes, it'll be Skip Pavone. And pretty balanced between the lefties, righties today. So a 41-foot oil pattern is what we encountered this week.
Front four for Nelson. Gives him a 30-pin early lead over Patrick Padden. And Ben got his shot a little left, right through the big four. You paid big for mistakes this week. It was pretty easy to hit the pocket, but if you didn't, you were going to pay, usually. Sullins a little high for a 4-pin. Yeah, this ice oil pattern played interesting, Matt. It was obviously, as most of these patterns do, it got tighter as the week went on. And you had to use fairly aggressive equipment to get it to react because of the oil. And is he going to flag that 4-pin? Sullins with a rare mistake on the 4-pin. That's going to bring that back to a 1-pin match despite the big 4 by Ben Hayes. Padden got one right and actually held on for a 6-pin, but still a 30-pin deficit against Nelson. Yeah, like I was saying, you needed fairly aggressive equipment, but you still had to get it through the heads. It's pretty easy to hit the pocket, but like a lot of these patterns, it gets tighter during the week, and we really wanted the ball reading fairly soon. Anybody who tried to push it down the lane, either with pin up or shiny or anything like that, got into real trouble.
All right, we'll turn back to Warren Nelson now, there on the right side of your screen. And Nelson almost didn't make this group step ladder yesterday. It came down to the very last frame. He lost his position round match to Patrick Padden. Padden shot 258, picked up the 30 bonus pins. Great shot there by Nelson. Now he's 5 for 5. But by losing that match, Nelson had a chance to be passed by Nick Morgan. Morgan stepped up in the 10th frame with a shot in the 270s to go. Had he won, he was bowling Chris Keene, and Keene finished with 259. So Morgan needed the first hit in the 10th, left a weak 10. Lost that match 259, 258, and that was enough to let Nelson sneak in. It was a 19-pin difference there, so those bonus pins would have made that a totally different day for Nick Morgan, who'd be here bowling Patrick Padden right now. And Padden had a great couple of rounds. He was a high round in round 2, and then had some big games yesterday at the right time. 258. Also, I believe, his last game of the Cashers round to get into match play as the 12 seed. And then just bowling well in match play, and here he is. So
Big double by Hapes, but he's in a Patrick Patton in a must-strike situation right now with Nelson with the front 6. He's got to figure out that left lane, does Patrick.
All right, so halfway through, you're right, Patrick Bowen, touch 200 pace, and Nelson with the front 6. Not much you can do there, except try to find a way, as you said, to figure out both lanes and hope for a mistake or an opportunity.
Well, I found the left lanes on the left side hooked maybe a board more than the right lane, and sometimes that board would be in the head, so you'd be fooling around trying to get it to the right spot, and then you'd move in another half board, and then it'd go week 7, you know. So the left lanes to me were the bigger challenge, you know, for the week, and that's what's happening to Patrick here. And Sullins could not match Ben Hafe's double. That's going to put him down by about 10. Patton does strike on the left lane. But Nelson firmly in charge of this match. And a 9-pin lead for Ben Hafes. Yeah, I was secretly hoping on the last game of the Cashers round that Darryl Bauer would beat me, because that would have put me into the B bracket, and I wouldn't have had to face Skip Pavone or Mark Williams. And unfortunately, I got myself into the A bracket, and that's just the luck of the draw.
Pretty talented field, top to bottom, just looking at the experience level, and a couple first-timers in Mark Williams and Mike Diaz, and just past that 60 mark, and a special birthday now. A lot of folks here. Sammy Ventura, for example, hanging out this week, is senior standout. 59 years and 11 and a half months. He's about a week shy of bowling in this event, and you know, a couple other guys, Warren Eels, and just hanging around, getting ready for the Senior Masters, wishing, well, why couldn't I be born 2 or 3 weeks earlier?
That was me last year. My birthday's June 4th tomorrow, so I missed this tournament by literally 3 days last year. Nelson finally misses, but not after having the front 7. So Nelson in the 250s. Patton can go out for 250 exactly. So no matter what Patton does, he's going to need some help.
So we've got ourselves a couple matches though here. We're looking right now at Benny Hafes trying to make it 3 in a row.
Hafes can take command if he can get this one. Chase it back, ring 10.
Shot.
Hafes, good shot.
All right, take a look at the lefty. Patton trying to put the pressure now. Coming on strong here in the back half of the game, working on a double. This is good lane.
Oh yeah.
So his max score 250. We've got ourselves a couple of games here. And really, you know, the pattern, we saw some roller coaster rides for some players, and really it was just in this case, you know, it doesn't matter what the other guys are doing. The scoring pace, you know, you just got to beat your guy by 1 pin.
Yep. 259 to 258, as you just called out, between the Morgan and Keene match.
Huge implications for others around, and but it really was it was a lot of fun to watch, because especially on your side, you were I want to say 6th going into the last game, but 9 pins out of 4th. So
I had my chance.
yeah. So and you know, the guy right in front of you, 4 pins out. And
right.
Anything can happen at that point, which keeps it exciting until the very end.
Essential strike for Patton. Puts the pressure on Nelson now. Nelson needs 2 marks to lock up the match. Yeah, I shot 230 the last game against Ben, but he goes 270, so that was the end of that. And we're 78 pins different, so I just had to basically beat him and get the 30 pins, and I would have been on the show. But couldn't do it. Ben had too good a lip. Oh, look at that. Rolled 2-pin, carrying the 2, the 4, and the 7 for Ben. He knows he got a good break there.
So Bruce, the hard part about this 2 matches at once is picking the right time to be on the right match. But right now we're getting down to the 10th frame here between Nelson and Patton. Nelson stepping up now. Still can get to 279. His 10th frame working on a strike in the 9th. So really could end it here And despite a great bold game by Patton.
Another ring 10 for Nelson. Nelson makes this, he locks up the match. And Sullins now is down 9. Cannot get that 4-pin to go in that right lane. That's 3 in a row for him there. And Nelson covers up the 10-pin. That's going to clean up that match. Warren Nelson will advance.
And there you have it. Spares very important this week. We saw a lot of strikes, but spare shooting always, no matter what the condition is, could be the difference.
And you really talk about the scoring pace being up and down. Here's 259 to potential 250 on one side. On our A bracket, we're looking at a 190 pace is leading compared to 180. So you look at how up and down it can be with this pattern.
All right, so 255, the final score for Warren Nelson. He will advance, and he will take on Ron Moore. They're going to bowl on 19 and 20. Patton's going to finish up, and now we're going to take a look back at Sullins and Hayes. We've got a 10-pin match going into the 9th frame.
Perry through the beak, 7-10. Not a good time for that. Got that one a little slow, I think.
Charlie Tapp chiming in the chat room. The guy in the booth sounds like Andrew Hall's dad.
It's Peter Griffin weighing in. How are you? How are you, Peter?
All right, well, we do appreciate everybody checking in with us today. And if you are just dropping by, my name is Matt Canizaro, and alongside me here for our Stepladders today, Bruce Hall. I watched a lot of bowling this week. Bruce did a lot of bowling this week, so besides being both left-handed, pretty balanced input, I think, for the day. So a little different perspectives on the same event. So looking forward to watching things unfold here. And so far, our opening matches in our group Stepladders are unfolding. It's 227 for Patrick Patton, 255 for Warren Nelson. Nelson advances to face our defending champion Ron Moore for a chance at the championship stepladder. That's coming up next. Right now, Benny Hafes and Harry Sullins finishing things
bucket.
up.
Big shot for Hafes. Just about locks it up.
So a missed single pin and a 7-10 here in this first match for Harry Sullins. His undoing. Benny Hafes, a longtime senior standout in the Milwaukee area, and then going down to Alabama to do some collegiate coaching. So a top talent and a top coach, and now getting ready to seal the deal here and earn a meeting with the left-hander Skip Pavone, also for a chance at the championship finals of the Super Senior Classic.
That's going to do it for Ben, the winner.
So max score for Sullins, 182 after the open frame. So he's going to take a little bit of a victory lap here in the 10th frame and start getting his mind ready for the next match on a different pair of lanes.
Yeah, just because it's not confusing enough, we're going to swap the A and the B groups between the lanes for each match. And I'll shout out to Charlie Tapp. My son Andrew is bowling his first Open Championships team event as we speak. So good luck to Andrew. Sorry for the shout out there, but great shot by Hayes. 204, a winner there. Now.
Sullins going to close things out, and we'll have our next competitors come on by. We'll see if the that opportunity for Warren Nelson yesterday just sneaking in or holding on, or I guess however you want to look at it. You know, the group stepladder situation, the match play Again, 11 of the 12 players really had a chance at advancing to today's competition going into the last game. On one side, it was a difference of 9 pins in Group A between 4th and 6th place. And then in Group B, a little bit more spread out, but still, one guy really was mathematically out of it and made for a lot of excitement once everybody figured out what was going on. It was a good time. Maybe not so much for the folks who just missed, but motivation perhaps for next year. All right. So you heard it there. We're going to let our number 2 seeds come in, get some practice. We'll get situated while we have this brief opportunity. Let's hear from Bruce just about this week a little bit and kind of what you encountered and the 41-foot pattern and different traffic patterns, of course, with the qualifying to the casters round to the match play with less folks, more folks. Just tell us about what you saw out there here at Samstown.
So you really had to keep it in front of you. You like most of these patterns, I can't swing it a whole lot, so I used a fairly aggressive ball with essentially a pin down drilling to get it rolling. And even though I think I've slowed it down, I got some good advice from Parker Bowen out in Long Island, who said, do you have to throw it as hard as you can every single shot? So I took 2 big steps up on the approach, and I tried to loosen my swing and get a little slower. But everybody this week said, boy, you're still throwing it really fast. So it was easy to throw it through the break, but you needed the ball to stay in front of you, yet pick up the break. And if you threw the right speed, you could get some good recovery off the corner, and there was a little bit of push depending on the lane. Most of the right lanes for me were a little tighter, so I had a little bit more hold on those lanes. The left lanes, as I said, were a little more challenging to get them down the lane. I was pretty consistent block to block. I was 168 over the first block, 164 the second one, like 180 in the cashers round, and just ran out of gas in the last round. I was very disappointed last night, only because it's just, to me, it was an opportunity squander because I thought I had such a nice look, And but I'm just so glad to be here and be among these guys. I made the finals in Long Island, and I'm watching Parker Bowen bowl Walter Ray on one side, and I'm watching Amleto bowl on the other side, and I'm bowling Ron Morris. And just to be here, I haven't been a big touring guy. I kind of opted for the career and the family thing, and now that I'm near retirement, I can do more of these things. So just to be part of this was a huge honor, and you guys put on such a great show. The USBC does a great job with this and the Senior Masters, so I was just really pleased to be here. All right,
well, we appreciate the kind words and the insight. And just looking back at the history of this event, going back to 2013, the inaugural edition at the International Training and Research Center in Arlington, Texas, we had 28 or so entries. And that was it. A intimate little gathering at the ITRC, not a huge place.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again.
And then we continued to grow to what we had this year at 184 entries, 2 squads across the 56-lane center. Let's hear the introductions now from Greg Moore.
Now let's meet our competitors. On lanes 23 and 24, he's your number 4 seed in Group A from Mobile, Alabama, Ben Hayes. This gentleman is your number 2 seed in the Group A stepladder from San Jose, California, Skip Bowen. And around lanes 19 and 20, the number 4 seed out of Group B from Hemet, California, please welcome Warren Nelson. And your number 2 seed in Group B, he is from North Las Vegas, Nevada. He is your defending champion, Ron Moore. Gentlemen, your lanes are coming on for 10 minutes of warm-up.
All right, very nice introductions there. And also with this format, the opportunity to see and meet some new folks and see more top talent here on BowlTV. But just going back to the history of the event a little bit, 28 entries or so that first year, Kerry Painter, the champion. We had it at the ITRC again in 2014. Jim Knoblah taking home the title, and then some growth and part of the championship series in Green Bay in 2015. Sam Macarone winning that event in his debut, I believe it was as well. And then the last 2 years here at Samstown, our title matches featured the same two guys, Ron Moore, our defending champion, and Junichi Yajima of Japan. 70-plus years old, always seems to get it done here. I had a great week again, came up a little bit short, but it was those two gentlemen in the title match. The first year, 2016, Yajima getting the best of Ron Moore. Last year, redemption for the local. Ron taking home the 2017 title, and what a floodgate, I guess, that opened for him as well. He was always knocking on the door. He was ready to win again. It had been a few years. He won that event, and now he's coming off another win last week in Brentwood, California, the PBA 50 event. And by the time that was over with, rolled back into town here in Las Vegas about 4 a.m., a few hours before the first qualifying block here at the Super Senior Classic. Bowled well, bowled tired, but a good tired, of course, having a prize check and trophy and all that adrenaline, and then continued to bowl well throughout qualifying, and then finished off the cashier's round with 299, highest game of the week, and surged up into the top couple places, and just missed tracking down Mike Diaz in the last couple games yesterday. They bowled back-to-back matches, and had Ron won game 5, he would have cut into a 67 or so pin deficit at the time. Those bonus pins really would have helped, and then that position round could have been a little bit more exciting, at least for that match. Really nothing Ron could have done in his match with Mike. He bowled 278 and got the win, but still was too far back to catch Mike. However, it turned out that Mike Diaz needed the first hit in the 10th frame to stay ahead of Mark Williams, who was bowling extremely well. He shot 258 in his final game down to our left, and it ended up being a 5-pin difference. So Mike needed that first hit to maintain that number 1 spot overall and get the number 1 seed for today. So a lot of things were happening all at one time, and definitely was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you talk about that crazy travel schedule. So they set up special practice lanes for the guys coming down from Brentwood to practice before they started their first day of qualifying. So some people were asking about that because they set up the high end so the guys could get a little experience on the shot before and then they picked up their stuff, went down, and started qualifying.
You definitely, if you are retired and have some time and a few dollars, really a very cool West Coast swing is what it is.
Yeah.
Starting with the Brentwood stop for the PBA 50 Tour, and then coming in here, Super Senior Classic if you're over 60, followed by the Senior Masters for USBC members 50 and older, and then right after that, the Senior US Open here in Las Vegas as well. And then if you're planning on 2019, if all of that falls into place as it has the last couple of years, we also will have the USBC Open Championships in town, the Bowlers Journal Championships. So really, if you are 60 years old and you're not here for 4 or 5 weeks doing all of those things, we talked to yesterday a first-timer, Gregory Turner, coming from Maryland. I didn't even know all of these things were happening kind of simultaneously, back-to-back, and now that he knows, he's going to plan the budget, plan the time a little bit differently next year. It just makes sense, and if you can swing it, certainly take advantage of the opportunity. And for him, cashed in his first Super Senior Classic, so pays for itself there. And then even immediately started thinking about the Senior Masters. Why not? It's coming up right away. Actually, tomorrow is practice day.
First practice.
And then we start on Tuesday. So
right back at it. Yeah, for me, it's 2.5 weeks here in Vegas, and 10 days here at Samstown, and then we have doing a timeshare, and we'll do over at Suncoast. And if that's not enough, Ron Moore runs his senior shootout here the week before Thanksgiving, so you can come out and bowl that. Just for some people, this annoying work tends to get in the way. So when you say retired, a lot of guys aren't retired. They come out and they plan their vacations, and they plan around these events. And I bowled Florida, and then I bowled Long Island, burned up some vacation, and I'm burning up vacation these next couple of weeks. But I'm actually retiring in July, so pretty happy about that. So I'll be doing a lot more of this.
Well, you've only got about 10.5 years before I'm ready for the Senior Masters. And I'm aiming for a age 50 retirement as well, so I can get out and start getting to it. Start my tour career. I'm going to do it Ron Moore style and do real life, and then get ready for the senior tour and to come out and dominate, because that's essentially what he's done.
Oh, absolutely.
Grabbed
and inducted into the Hall of Fame this year as well.
Handful of titles. Now a PBA Hall of Famer, class of 2018, two-time Senior Player of the Year.
And Ron, an ex-air traffic controller out of Alaska. He's got some great stories. I was talking to Johnny Petraglia, who's been my idol for many, many years, about his game, and he goes, you know, as I get further and further away from 70, it becomes more difficult to generate speed on the ball. And I said, think about that phrase for a second, Johnny. As you get further away from 70 and the way you still throw it, it's unbelievable. The guy is a legend and continues to be. He shot 240 something to get into the cashier's round, Johnny did.
We saw Petraglia with back-to-back third-place finishes here, and you know, we joked that we were gonna just slide him into it. Draft here for 2018, and he bowled well again. And I'm sure we'll see him this week at the Senior Masters, along with all the youngsters coming in. Our defending champion there, Walter Ray Williams Jr. Got 3 runner-up finishes on the PBA 50 Tour, including last week to Ron Moore and Brentwood. So Walter Ray's in a good place, but probably a little bit extra motivated after those runner-up efforts, just feeling like he's there, just not getting it done on TV. So
he lost to Haugen in Long Island, and then beat Haugen in the stepladder, but then lost to Ron Moore. So he's going to be extra motivated.
Looking forward to seeing all of our friends, and another gentleman looking for some redemption here, Parker Bowen, has bowled incredibly well in qualifying and just ran into the wrong folks at the wrong time in his matches the last couple of years.
I bowled right next to Parker in the very first round. And I qualified 63rd, and I drew Bob Learn, and he qualified first and drew 64, who was, remember? It was Brian Voss. And Brian Voss shoots 780. Brian Voss shot 147 to make it, I think. And he shoots 780 at Parker to put him right in the loss column after Parker was 700 over.
Parker likes breaking records here, and that's the nature of that event, of course. You know, one pair of lanes, one match. Anything can happen, and being number 64, getting there is the number one thing. And then when you have 2 Hall of Famers and the whole 64 is scattered, it's the Hall of Famers everywhere.
Yep.
Nobody's safe at that point.
You never know who you're going to draw, and it's the randomness in the match, which is what makes it interesting. But when you get into the losers bracket that early, it's very difficult to go all the way in. Again, and Parker won his next, I think, 3 matches, and then finally lost.
All right, folks, we're about 30 seconds away from the start of our next group stepladder matches. On one pair of lanes, we have Benny Hafes and Skip Pavone. One lefty, one righty. And over here on 19 and 20 is our defending champion, Ron Moore, taking on Warren Nelson. And Nelson really taking advantage so far of his opportunity here in the group stepladder. Some things had to go his way for him to earn a spot in the group stepladder, and now any of these gentlemen one win away from a spot in the championship stepladder here at the 2018 Super Senior Classic. Our top seed there, Mike Diaz. Number 2 seed is Mark Williams. So 2 first-timers, and very much hoping to start their time here at Samstown with a victory and some momentum. But we'll see that coming up today at starting at 2 p.m. Eastern, so just about an hour and a half away. And right now, again, our group Stepladders are coming to a close here with this match. The 2 winners will be the 3 and 4 seeds on the championship Stepladder this afternoon.
Oh, the love tap for Warren Nelson. Gets the slow roll on the 10 right out of the gate. Things continuing to go his way. And Haves starts the match and strikes on 23. You know, you mentioned the rapid growth of this event, just 5 years up to 180 entries. You think they'll sell it out next year? It's a max 220.
I think we're getting there. I think there's some folks who are about to turn 60, and some who feel like maybe they missed out. They didn't realize exactly what this event was all about.
Well, it's great. Can't recommend it enough. Skip Bowen gets his first shot way right and carries the Brooklyn. Skip from the Bay Area used to run the pro shop at Cambrian Bowl until Cambrian closed, and now he runs the pro shop at Homestead Lanes. Great guy, runs a great shop up there.
So they're playing mind games with us here with the scoreboards. We had them a little different look this match than we did last match, but we're on top of it. We got it. There you see it. Warren Nelson and Ron Moore. Ron Moore again, our defending champion here, looking to make the title match for the 3rd consecutive year. We've got our top seed, Mike Diaz, sitting to our left now, just coming in, getting acclimated. Big crowd on hand here today as well. A lot of bowling fans here in Las Vegas.
And Moore crumbles a bucket.
Nice break for Ron. We saw him late in the day yesterday on that same lane. A couple light hits like that, almost too light, but they all went down, and that's how he got where he is. And a near miss there for Skip Pavone. Didn't shoot a lot of spares this week, averaged a ton in the 230s.
Crazy. Crazy
Took
good.
208 to make the Cashers round, 46th place. We had a tie and a roll off, and a little excitement there. Greg McMahon came up big late in the day as well to set up that tie.
And Nelson with a trip 4-9. Give him the double.
So, folks, of course, all the good stuff happens on the pair that we're not watching. That's generally how it
We have
goes.
to have a talk with the executive producer.
Here's Hayes now up on lane 24.
Can't get the roll on the 10. Mike Diaz, of course, high qualifier, and then high out of the match play.
Okay.
So, bowling great. Straight up the lane. He really personifies what this pattern calls for. Nelson blows the rack for the front 3.
Well, for Diaz, consistent over the 2 days, almost on the same exact score. Had 1439 and 1434 on the fresh and burn. So it felt pretty good. Was the top qualifier after 10 games. Struggled a little bit in the Cashers round, dropped to 4th place going into match play. Had a good cushion, so he was able to build on that, and really things came together in match play. Just whatever he learned along the way, put it all together, and was able to find his way back to the top of the standings and the #1 seed.
Yeah, I think I was ahead of him for 1 game. And Moore flushes it.
All right, so 10-pin match here between Moore and Nelson. Nelson perfect through 3. We saw him throw the front 6 last game in a 255-227 win against Patrick Padden, the left-hander. And in our other match, Hayes 204-182 over Harry Solons. do appreciate everybody tuning in. Biggest numbers so far this week. My name is Matt Canizaro, alongside fellow left-hander Bruce Hall, who bowled very well this week and really came within a few frames of being here in the group stepladder himself.
That works for Moore. That's why he's so good. When he waves like that, the ball listens.
Much better shot there.
Right.
Got that one, made the adjustment clearly and got that one to wheel. Didn't even need to wave at it after the last couple, and he was dead flush now. Hafes picking up the spare there, so we're about even in that match.
You know, it's funny how this ice oil tends to amplify your speed mistakes. Like if you push a little bit through the heads, you don't really get around it, it won't pick up on the back. But if you get the speed right, and I would note also Mark Williams, tremendously good at this, just very clean and very smooth, works his speed beautifully, as does Moore. See if Pavone can relax a little bit here. Now, how about a flush 7-10 for Skip Pavone with his best shot of the match, actually.
See, we caught that one. So.
Oh, good.
We got that one, and now
All
we're
right.
switching back to watch Warren Nelson. He's 4 for 4 so far. And interestingly, Bruce, we saw last game our high-scoring match on 23 and 4. And now we've got all of our strikes happening over on 19 and 20.
That's right. Appears to be the dominance of the B bracket. Pavone 9 out to put him 12 behind. How about a messenger coming across for Warren Nelson, front 5, just like he did last game.
Did for 1 second looked like a 7-10, and then everybody laying down for Mr. Nelson, and he did bowl on the other pair last game, had the front 6, and now has command of this pair as well. But Ron Moore still just 10 pins down, working on a 3-bagger of his own, so we'll watch him throw his shot, and then we'll skip back over to Skip.
Pavone, week 7. You got a mittful of that one. Red early on him.
All right, so trouble for Moore, the 3-6-10.
Skip Pavone's flags the 7-pin. Skip needs to relax. Needs to start to pry it off. He's definitely not realizing his potential here.
Moore cleans up the 3-6-10, and Benny Hayes looking to take advantage now of the back-to-back open frames from Skip Pavone. Benny strike, 9 spare, 9 spare. But Pavone with 56 in the 4th frame now after the 7-10 and the missed 7-pin.
Pretty good shot by Hayes. Another week 10.
So Hayes looking at 20-pin plus lead now with a spare. There's Ron Moore. A little bit of trouble here halfway through his match with Warren Nelson.
It's going to be a 13, 14 pin lead now for Nelson. With the front 5. Hafes now up 22 on Skip Pavone after those 2 opens.
All right, we'll watch Ron Moore's spare attempt here on lead 19. 10-pin, no problem. We'll see who's going to go next. Benny Hayes or Warren Nelson.
You know, the courtesy was interesting when you had the down lane in between. Do you give courtesy to that pair 2 away? In theory, you're not supposed to, but if the guy gets up there, you know, you're just not going to go parallel to him. So they're definitely waiting.
Well, a little different world here in our stepladder situation. Nelson up Fret 5 looking to stay perfect here on lane 20.
Oh, they're good. Late hit, 7 pin.
7 won't go, but he was well out in front here. As you can see, you guys have the scoreboard on that one. We'll turn our attention now to Benny Hafes looking to build on his lead. Another single
mixer
pin.
7. Back-to-back mixer 7s.
Benny leads by 21. Spare attempt for Nelson, no problem. 23-pin lead for Nelson now, halfway through.
And a slap 10 for Nelson. Back on the strike train. Best shot of the match for Pavone. Strikes on 24.
Of course it was.
You saw it hit, though. You could see it on the right.
On the right, exactly, yes.
You can
Off
see
on
it.
the right side of your screen.
Give you a break, buddy. Well, you take a break from announcing to come down and take video of guys trying for 300 like you did with me. So you're a jack of all trades. Better shot by Moore.
All right, now we're going to switch over. We're going to watch Pavone take the shot on lane 23, trying to bounce back here. Double would be huge to cut into that 21-pin lead.
Important shot. You know, Skip did that a lot. He would start with his first couple of steps and then just check up and start over.
No shot clock here. No fines happening.
We got through it good. Great shot. Dead flush.
All right, so knocks 10 pins off that deficit.
Skip's starting to relax a little bit, getting into the moment.
Back to Ron Moore. Big double opportunity here for him. He is
Important
down.
shot. With Warren's look, big shot for Moore here.
Still 23 pins after 7.
Slow again, read a little early. Could have been worse.
Lucky to leave just the 4, but definitely he grabbed a handful and you saw that one going left.
Good shot for Hafes.
Hafes' wife, Jerry, carry one after 4 consecutive
She's
9
his
spares.
biggest cheerleader. She was cheering him on against me for 2 matches yesterday, and you know, God bless her. Wants her man to win.
All right, so here's Nelson now stepping up, 7th frame strike, working on 23-pin lead here. Trying to extend that with the double here.
That looked a little fast, and sure enough, didn't pick up. Lucky to get the 10 out.
We did not see too many washouts or 2A10s this week. It seems like all the misses were left through the face, or right for the
Hafes with the crumbling mixer. Gets his lead back up to 21. And good cover by Nelson there. Big shot for Pavone. Pretty good again. Oh, can't get the light mixer. Leaves him 20 down, 22 down now.
Nelson up 24. 23, sorry, still.
Well, that's the announcer's curse. You just mentioned the
Right.
lack of washouts, and there's a super washout.
Wowza.
I call the New England Bowlers Association stuff, and that's the absolute kiss of death as soon as you say that.
Kind of a pivotal moment in this match now. We'll start it with the front five. Swinging Ron Moore's way, but see if Nelson can clean this mess up.
Gonna hook a little. Great shot.
Hopefully,
Right at it. You know, there's different schools of thoughts on how to shoot those super washouts. Some guys take their spare ball and try to shoot it like a baby split. I'm a fan of crossing over and trying to do what Nelson just did. And Pavone strikes, but still down 22.
take a look at Ron Moore now, stepping up. Max score for him, 236. Nelson still can get to 244, but Moore needs to put the pressure on here. See what Nelson's got.
Ooh, almost a 410 for Moore. Now he's going to need help from Warren. Which he almost just gave him. Haves strikes again. 32 pin lead now for Haves. Taking control of this match.
Here comes 10th frame for Moore, 225. Max score. Again, Nelson still can get into the 240s.
Now, I wonder if Ron's still a little tired from that crazy schedule. You know, I mean, he's in such great shape. But that's got to wear on anybody.
After this shot, we'll tell you what he was talking about
Turn it
yesterday.
up. Oh, yeah, slap 10.
This shot gets the 10 out, but yeah, yesterday there was about a 3-hour break between Cashers round and match play. And Ron, being from North Las Vegas, not too far away, he was trying to decide what to do. It was a little too early to go eat. Benny Haves, big 4-bagger. He's about to shut this one down. But for Moore, he didn't want to eat too early and get tired or not have the energy to bowl. So he said, you know what, I think I might go home and work out and then grab something to eat and come back for match play. So there goes that theory.
But he went light. He only did 200 sit-ups and push-ups instead of 400. He had a light day.
All right, here's Moore now, trying to keep the pressure on. Big double there, so he's going to force Nelson to mark in the 10th frame now. Back to Pavone. Max score 215. Benny Haves well in control here.
Unfortunately, Skip just a little nervous at the beginning of the match and making great shots now.
Here's Moore. Count very important here. His max 225. So count will force Nelson to mark in the 10th. His last 2 shots have not been too good.
That's fine. That's
Ron
enough.
gets 9.
That's enough. Nelson just needs the mark now.
224 Nelson. Last frame on 19, super washout. Last time on 20 was
Pavone
a
strikes to
2-8.
stay alive. 50, 80. He could force Ben Haves to show up in the 10th mark.
Here's Nelson, must mark situation. Can he get it with a strike? Absolutely.
Done deal. Warren Nelson capitalizes on this stepladder appearance.
So Ron Moore's reign here at the Super Senior Classic coming to an end at the hands of Warren Nelson.
messenger for Bowen. Keeps him in the match. Count here also very important. He needs to get 10. Then if Hafes were to go 9 out, I think it would be a tie. So he's going to force Hafes to get good count and a mark in the 10th. .214 for Skip Pavone.
Real quick, final shot coming up here for Nelson. A 234-224 victory over the defending champ Ron Moore. Nelson has earned a place in the championship stepladder coming up at 2 p.m. Eastern today. They will bowl either Benny Hafes or Skip Pavone here, barring the outcome of this final frame now. Benny going to step up on lane 24. Pavone 214.
Hafes strikes to end the discussion. Great shot. Right as he let it go, an alarm went off in the crowd.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, glad that didn't happen 2 seconds earlier. Ben Hafes and Warren Nelson will advance.
And seating there traditionally should be determined by average, but really all that means is lane choice, who starts, who finishes.
And Hafes at 226 going in, and Warren Nelson at 224.
Trick shot there for Benny, 235-214.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the stepladder finals. Have a big hand for Ron Moore and Skip Pavone.
We're going to introduce our finalists. Bruce, I'm going to go take a photo, get my airtime here on BowlTV. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh, you gotta be in the race, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's speak. Your 4 finalists for this morning's stepladder final. That will begin precisely at 11 o'clock. It will be here live and also on BowlTV. Your number 4 seed comes from Hemet, California. Please welcome Warren Nelson. Your number 3 seed, he's from Mobile, Alabama, Ben Hafes. And your number 2 seed, he was the winner of the Group A bracket from Bowen, Texas, Mark Williams. And your number 1 overall seed, the winner of Group B, he's from Lafayette, Colorado, Mike Diaz. Ladies and gentlemen, these are your 4 gentlemen for the stepladder finals to determine our 2018 USBC Super Senior Classic champion. Those matches will begin right here on lanes 21 and 22 at 11 o'clock. Don't go anywhere else. Let's get your picture.
All right, folks, we do appreciate everybody tuning in. There's the best butt on BowlTV, Matt Canizaro, taking photos, getting ready for the stepladder finals coming up in just about 1 hour, actually 1 hour exactly. 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. here in Las Vegas. You have your seeds there. So first match is going to be Warren Nelson and Benny Hafes. The winner will take on Mark Williams, and the winner there will be number 1 seed Mike Diaz for the 2018 Super Senior Classic title. $8,500 on top. Going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to sign off here for the hour and come back with you, get reset, get the cameras going. Championship match should be on 21 and 22. But for Bruce Hall here, we appreciate all of your insight here during our group step ladders, and things should be a little calmer, a little smoother as we get into the main championship step ladder. And hopefully we'll have you back on to provide some more insight and commentary the rest of the way. But folks, thank you all for tuning in all week long. Just a couple more matches to go. We'll crown our champion here, and we do appreciate all the support here on BowlTV. Tell your friends. We'll be back in 1 hour. My name is Matt Canizaro for Bruce Hall. Folks, that is the news for now. We'll see you on the lanes.